Hello guys, and today I will be showing you guys why this gun runner build is so good.
Spore
Starting off by
saturation
the
is
fact that
nearing
we're using
critical
terminal
mass.
time,
After
which
that
has
point, no
insane
amount of
amounts
life
of fire
support will
rate,
save
boost the
you.
poison list, and also Uriel having a pet for one of the trees that when one of the enemies or opponents get killed, summon orb, and when you get that orb, it doubles your fire along with the list of rates as well. It's also
Spores have almost completely saturated the atmosphere. You need to get out of there.
from the prime fire. It's not very recommended
Support
you guys watch this video from me. I'll give you guys some real set, but I don't know about the actual weapons because this video was just a skill pad as of now because it needs help basically at least one warframe. So I'm gonna teleport us back to my orbiter, and back in now I can show you the arsenal. So this build is gonna mainly be a gun runner build. And when I mean gun runner, I mean like actual gun run. Like what y'all just saw in the previous clip before, that was just the intro. Yeah, I mean gun run. Like there's no heavily ability use, just straight up gun run. So Terminal Prime, Kuva Nakor, and then Gallo Riot Prime. So, first of all, we're going to start off with Uriel, since he's the easiest and I already have a build made for him for gun. First one, we have Dreamer's Bond. Well, mostly because that's the element of any, so Dreamer's Bond is good, and also helps the squad receive 0.3 energy regeneration, and also 1.5 or 2 or 2.5
if
health
lost on the plains outside Cetus, you may
we
derive
have
sustenance from
Glow.
those termite products, which
I
the
will switch it out
Ottomans
for
called Dar.
I will switch it out for Arcane Glow just so it will be better. Oh snap, wait. Actually no. Actually no, I'm gonna leave everything just how it was. Yeah, so we have Flow, 100% energy max. Then we have Arcane Intensify, 21.8 ability tree, restoring health with abilities grant 30+% ability shrink for 10 seconds. Now we have Control, 30% ability duration. You will see that range, strength, and duration is basically the three most best. So efficiency doesn't really matter right now. It's all about duration, range, and strength, and also the shield and everything up here, but sprint speed and armor. And I'll get to that in a second. We have redirection, 91+% shield capacity. Then we have blind rage, her secrets. And now for the arcane. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter unless, yeah. Alright, so for the sprint speed, okay, it says sprint speed, so the sprint speed does not matter. But what does matter is the parkour velocity. Now, you see, Uriel has the first ability where you call Infernalist, where he launches himself like a flying meteor. And also, since this is a heat status main warframe, it's probably recommended if you want, you can still use the entire loadout, but you can make them more heat status status. And like how I did. It took me a while to make all this. Make all this come together. Because I had to use a bunch of upgrade, de-upgrade, all that. Yeah, I wasn't trying to speed trigger, split chamber, vigilante ornaments, serration. I would use prompt serration max. We got hellfire. Then we have vigilante fervor, cyber rounds, magnetic capacity. That also gives you 60% magnetic status. That can also help whenever it shoots its radial attacks. The split chamber gives it 90% multi-shot because that we're gonna need that extra damage, you know. Yeah, I would use galvanize just because it will make the gun more powerful for Trumlo. Well, if I'm being for real, don't really just whatever I just told y'all to use. This is really just for like 100 only. Anything bigger than that, it's pretty much useless. The Kuba and the core though, this is a very good build. I use this in Steel Path all the time, but then again I'll use Primed Hornet Strike, Primed Heated Charge, Primed Convulsion, and Primed Deep Freeze because they're better, way better. That's the problem. I don't have these things. So by me not having these things, I cannot make my weapon better. For obvious reasons, we have the Jericho. It has a shield charger fired up, and also other stuff. The Volkov. We need a companion for shield charger and weapon. So that's why I made the Volkov really strong. And the heavy weapon, you're gonna need this. You're gonna need a heavy weapon included because if you don't have the Trumna Prime, basically the muscle one is basically just like the Trumna Prime, but just a faster fire rate. There's like a big difference. Just a faster fire rate. That's if you modify it correctly, like I did. So, that being said, let's move on to the Arcane Shards. Okay, now we're at the Arcane Shards. I would use Tau Forge for all of these, but I'm just too lazy to go to Tactor and just do one of those missions. Because what are the chances that I will actually get a blue Tau Forge or Zero Arcane Shard? Well, that only depends. So, enough fapping, more explaining. So, Tau Forge, Crimson Arcane Shard. Make sure it has 15 plus ability strength, because ability strength is also used to make the abilities and his soul companions more powerful. So then those more orbs can come along, and that could increase your fire rate for the Tremor Prime. And if you guys know it already, you will every 5 kills with the Tremor Prime, you get to press L3 or whatever L3 is, that basically translate in your controller or whatever kind of other platforms you're using. If you press L3, it will switch you to a different ammunition, and then in an instant you will be able to shoot out a large grenade that spreads out to your enemies, and it can deal up to millions of damage. Well, that's only because of my modifications. I will still use galvanized though. Now we got the Tau Forge Amber Arcane Shard. Okay, make sure you use 22.5% parkour velocity. Again, I would use tower force for all of these so your warframe can be much better. Because if you don't make it better, then it's not going to be identical to this build. You don't have to make it identical, but if you want the build to be just like this, you're going to have to make it identical. I'm not talking about the colors you can. Well, just in case anybody wants to see what the colors you can look like, here it is. Here's the colors. It doesn't really matter what type of red you use. It's mostly dark, white, black, a little bit of light red, dark red, black, a little bit of white or natural red, and then white. Basically. For the attachments, and then here's the Signa. Oh, I have this Signa. I didn't even know. Uriel looks like a completely different warframe now. Wow, that's cool. But there goes the Signa. All right. So that being said, let's sort of like move on to like some. I think we just move on to a whole video about me just being muted with just music playing, of me just doing a whole gameplay in conjunction survival mode on Warframe. I'm not gonna do a solo. What time is it? I'm gonna be able to get this video done in time. Okay, now. Oh, where did we just go here? Project Survival. I need to find something else. You know what? This was a build video. This was a build video and not a gameplay video. Or at least that's what I thought until I did the intro. So everything but the intro, not gameplay. Alright, have a great day. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys like and subscribe. It's free. You can unsubscribe later. Okay?